GradeAUnderA just hit 2 million subscribers on YouTube. That's something to celebrate. Or is it? He may have done a face reveal, but that's not Grade. What he showed you on YouTube is just one of his 2 faces. Now, I'll tell you the rest of the story. Boo-boo-ba-doo. There's no better way to gloss over when you've done something wrong than with a face reveal and by celebrating a subscriber milestone. By showing his face, it controlled the conversation and made people start talking about what he looks like, what his identity is. But it diverted people's attention from what's actually important, which is that a good percentage of his viewers are starting to see that GradeAUnderA is not who he says he is. What, you didn't know there was a whole angry mob against Grade A? Well, that's why I'm here to keep you informed. You've probably been hanging out on YouTube. This angry mob is over on Reddit. Right now, Reddit is full of people talking about how GradeAUnderA looks, but go back just a day earlier and his subreddit tells a different story. Here's one page of Grade's comments that he deleted. A question for those who dislike have been picked on by Grade. Grade back at it with the hypocrisy once again. Many YouTube videos criticizing Grade have been deleted and privated. Anyone know why? And so much more. And I'm gonna go over the highlights of this with you today to shine a light on the stuff that Grade has been trying to keep in the shadows. Now, bear in mind, I was a huge GradeAUnderA fan, but there are times when you have to call out when people are going too far. Let's start with GradeAUnderA attacking his fans. In this post, a fan commented, "I used to be a major fan, saw the same video like 30 times. Recently, Grade's just getting involved with YouTube drama. It's like teenage girl stuff. These videos make Grade look less invincible and petty." So this is a fan giving some constructive criticism and feedback. This is actually the kind of stuff that most YouTubers love to hear, as it helps us know what's going on with our audience. But let's see how Grade responded. Oh wait, we can't. He deleted it, but I'll show you how we can find that. And we're gonna talk about him deleting his comments to cover his tracks later. Let's just grab this URL and go on over to the Internet Archive, where we could look at a previous version that has a cache from before Grade deleted his comment. And here it is, where he calls his fan an idiot and much worse. Let's take a quick look. "The vast majority of my viewers are effing awesome, but the 0.001% of idiots, like 10 blah 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 here, that is the fan's name, I can't understand them, seriously." He calls him an inbred moron. Well, actually he calls him an inbred moron, but that's not really a word, so he calls him a loser. And he says, "I don't get why you can't just fuck off." He says his opinion is ill-informed dog shit, equates his constructive criticism to crying, and tells him to once again fuck off, and he can come here and cry all he wants, but it falls on deaf ears because GradeAUnderA doesn't want to hear criticism. Oh, he also calls his hissy fit prepubescent and tells him to unsubscribe. Now remember, this is from the guy who's telling him that he used to be a major fan and would watch the same video 30 times. And this is how Grade treats one of his top promoters. So essentially, GradeAUnderA, who's made an entire YouTube career out of criticizing and grandstanding against other people, can't take it when that same criticism is levied against him. From one of his top fans, no less. Now consider the other YouTubers Grade has criticized, going from PewDiePie to Markiplier to Matt Santoro. Can you imagine any of those YouTubers talking to their fans the way that Grade just did? No, and the reason they don't is because that's how you lose fans. And fans are what makes you who you are on YouTube. But what's worse, Grade didn't just try to own up to it and apologize for it. There was no mea culpa to be found here. Instead, he went and deleted the comments. He tried to cover it up, and when a 16-year-old mod refused to help him, he called her a whore. Here's the thread from that 16-year-old mod. Her name is Emily, and she goes by CyanSheepMedia on Reddit. She decided to share the conversation she had with GradeAUnderA, where he tried to cover up his poor behavior and asked for her assistance in doing so. This is the message from GradeAUnderA. "Hey Emily, can you delete threads on Reddit? If so, could you do me a favor and delete the anyone else getting put off from grade A post thread? By the way, that's the thread that we were just looking at where he totally went off on that one fan. It's seriously getting annoying. It's full of people complaining that they don't like the way I responded, which is stupid, LOL. I have no issue with hate, but the self-righteousness of that is seriously doing my head in, LOL. Meanwhile, completely ignoring the irony of what he's doing right now, which is totally being self-righteous because he doesn't want to hear criticism. Emily, who actually understands how Reddit works and doesn't want to censor people just because they have a dissenting opinion, said, I don't want to delete an entire thread just because it is annoying you. Really, the only reason I would have to delete or lock a thread would be if there was a good reason to delete it. I could lock the thread as too many people are violating Rule 5. Would that suffice? And of course, she ends up saying later, I did end up locking the thread because at the time, people were arguing on it. Not much discussion was really being had. Looking back, it was mainly Grade A himself that was breaking Rule 5. Okay, so Emily releases this conversation and a lot of people, a lot of people start realizing that Grade is maybe not the YouTube hero that they envisioned him to be. So how does Grade respond? He calls Emily a whore. A 16-year-old mod who was trying to do the right thing for the community, he calls her a whore. Let's take a listen.
Gold Reaper Jr. donated $1 and said, I'm so sorry, but can you do a TLDR of what you just said so I can get it on recording to prove I was on Reddit wrong? Basically, here's what you say to people on Reddit, right? Tell them, go look at the fucking post and see how bad it was.
Go look at the post? What post? The post you deleted?
I have fuck all to hide, trust me.
Really, you have nothing to hide. Because almost all of your posts from the last 2 months have been deleted from Reddit. And here's a Reddit thread attesting to just that. Has Grade deleted all his recent comments and please read post? I'm not the only person noticing this.
Go read that comment. Go tell that fucking whore that's a mod on my fucking subreddit to link you to what I said to delete. Go tell her to link it. It's not bad at all.
So if it's not bad, why did you need to delete it? And why are you calling a 16-year-old girl a whore on your subreddit? It seems that you don't quite understand how Reddit really works. This is a subreddit that was about you, not for you. There's a difference. It's a subreddit where you're discussed, not a place for people to blindly worship you. GradeAUnderA seems to have a very YouTube mentality when it comes to Reddit, thinking it's just another one of his social media platforms. And that's not how it works. It's a community that you cannot control. And let me tell you, it's one of the best communities when it comes to gathering criticism about YouTubers that would otherwise be hidden. Reddit was huge when it came to the Fine Bros scandal, for example. And now Grade has gone and tried to clean up the metaphorical crime scene by deleting all his comments. He definitely deleted them all. Thank God for whoever archived this on Web Archive. But I'm not the only person noticing GradeAUnderA's lack of ability to handle criticism. Look at this fan's reaction to GradeAUnderA championing that anybody should be able to be criticized while he's meanwhile hiding his own criticism. They screen capped his video, no one should be immune to criticism, and then put all the quotes of Grade complaining about criticism about himself and showing the hypocrisy of it. Very popular thread with 213 comments. But while many people are just starting to twig to it now, this sort of shadiness with GradeAUnderA has been going on for months. During his Ask Me Anything on Reddit a few months ago, Grade addressed concerns about his relationship with Keemstar. Grade was known for calling out questionable YouTubers, but for some reason he conveniently ignored calling out Keemstar, and his fans wanted to know why. And he had this to say. Keemstar got an offer which is currently on the table for me, which he was 100% solely responsible for getting me, which would be enough to retire my parents. So with all due respect, given what I've just told you, to be perfectly honest, I don't give a fuck what Keemstar's done or said to other people. Now, Grade A grew from calling out people who did things wrong in the community. He called out Nicole Arbor, he called out Vegan Gains, he called out reaction channels, which, you know, I have my own opinions on, but regardless. You can't be known as the ethical YouTube hero who stands against all that is wrong when you're protecting someone who's doing things that are wrong just because they're lining your pockets with money. That is the very definition of being crooked and unethical. Grade, you've become the type of person that you used to call out. And if you don't think reading his comments in writing has enough impact, maybe listening to it will.
But for this loser to tell me you shouldn't like someone who offered you a 6-figure deal because they've called someone the N-word in the past and they falsely accused someone of a pedophile for 3 hours, I don't give a fuck. My parents don't give a fuck. They would have taken that money in 2 seconds. Fuck off, loser. I don't care. None of my concern, man.
GradeAUnderA is telling his fans once again that they are losers and to fuck off. This is from Grade's live stream on Twitch. You know what's happening here, right? GradeAUnderA has become the male equivalent of Caseytron, luring people in to watch his live stream with his big, rotund chin, and then waiting till they pay him with tips for him to read their comments to insult them. We all know how much people hate Caseytron. This is not looking good. So looking at the bigger picture, what are the implications of this for GradeAUnderA, and what should you as fans do about it? To put things in perspective, Grade initially gained his popularity from Reddit. First from his girly drinks video going viral from being promoted on there. That got him started, but when the growth didn't continue coming quickly enough, he started attacking other YouTubers like Nicole Arbor and Vegan Gains, learning that it could slingshot his channel forward exponentially. But now that he's become a bigger YouTuber, he has to keep attacking even bigger YouTubers in order to keep that pattern of growth going. That 200 million subscriber milestone that we're all celebrating is built on the back of GradeAUnderA tearing down other people. And the problem with him having to attack bigger YouTubers is these bigger YouTubers are bigger because they are loved. And now people are starting to question Grade and take a more critical look at his behavior. That backlash is growing, and this 2 million subscriber milestone isn't something to celebrate. It's something that we should be looking at and being like, damn, how exactly did he get here? And is this really what we want to see? Do we want to support someone who's calling his fans losers and idiots? Do we want to support somebody who keeps plugging his Twitch channel so his fans will go there and pay him in donations to have their voice heard, only for him to turn around and insult them? In my opinion, no, that's the opposite of what we should be supporting. And believe me, it pains to say that because I used to watch every single one of his videos, and I don't anymore. Because I don't want to be lining the pockets of somebody who uses their power this way. Let me sum this up for you with a clip from one of Grade's YouTubers that he likes.
If people do bad shit, you have to call out. You have to call them out on it.
Yeah, you can't let fucking fucked up stuff slide.
Especially when it's YouTube.
And that's exactly where we're at now. Grade has become the very thing he used to fight against. And you can't hide that fact behind a 2 million subscriber milestone that was built on the backs of people that you tore down. Your attention-shifting tactic and attempt to change the conversation doesn't work on people who are too smart to see past it. Because a face reveal doesn't work when you're two-faced and only showing one of them. I'm Becky Boop. Share this video so more people can see what you have, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting stories that are worth a second look. Really, just a second look. 2 looks, not 2 faces. I only have one. You should watch this video too. News. We're going to be talking about GradeAUnderA taking on the world against YouTubers like Mark. Boop, boop, ba-doo.